Who looked at this and imagined a kingdom? For a moment, it is only stone. A wall of rock rising from the jungle. Not part of a mountain, not surrounded by cliffs, standing alone. As if the earth placed it there and never explained why. Someone looked at this and imagined a city above the clouds. And somehow, that wasn't the impossible part, because somewhere else, the land remembers. An elephant steps through the morning mist. Then another. Not searching, not wandering, remembering. Following invisible paths, older than every kingdom that came after them. Silence. For a moment, the island disappears. Then, a white spiral begins to emerge, turning upward, until it vanishes into the sky. It feels less like a tower, and more like a question. The mountains unfold. A train glides between the clouds. An ancient rainforest continues breathing, as it has for thousands of years. Far beyond the shoreline, something larger than any dinosaur breaks the surface, takes one breath, and disappears into the depths once again. Every map calls this one island. The island disagrees. Travel only a few hours and everything changes. The air, the land, the rhythm of life. The deeper you go, the less it asks to be understood. Every answer becomes another question. Sri Lanka. This is not the story of an island. It is the story of a world that somehow learned to fit inside one. For a moment, it is only stone. A single wall of rock rising above an endless sea of forest. Nothing around it suggests what comes next. As the first light reaches the summit, the morning finally catches up with it. For centuries, people have stood beneath this same sunrise. The stone remained. The silence remained. Only one question never found an answer. Why would anyone even try? Because this was never the easiest place to build. It was the hardest. Everything had to come up. Water, stone, food, every single day. And yet, someone looked at this impossible wall of rock and imagined a kingdom. Step closer, and the impossible becomes stranger. Water gardens appear beneath the cliffs, still reflecting the sky more than 15 centuries later. Terraces emerge from the forest. Stone pathways continue upward, every step revealing another idea hidden inside the rock. This was never simply a fortress. It was imagination made visible. Higher, the forest disappears. The wind remains. Everything else falls away. Even time feels farther below. Until, almost without realizing it, you are standing above the world below. From here, villages disappear, roads become invisible. The forest stretches far beyond sight, and suddenly the question changes. It is no longer, how was this built? It becomes, what kind of person imagines something like this? The palace is gone, the kings are gone, the empire has long since disappeared. Yet every sunrise, the rock returns. Every sunset, it stands exactly where it always has. Not as a monument to power, but as a monument to imagination. Kingdoms disappear. Stone endures. Imagination continues climbing. Long before kingdoms rose above the forest, before walls, before roads, before history learned to write its own name, this island already had its first travelers. They are not searching, they are not wandering, they are remembering, following paths no map has ever drawn. Roots carried, not on paper, not in stone, but somewhere deep within memory itself. From above, their journey seems effortless, almost random. But every step belongs to a path far older than this moment, older than the villages, older than the fields, older than every road that now crosses their way. Season after season, they arrive. Not because someone calls them, not because someone leads them, because the land still remembers where to meet them. 1 becomes 10, 10 become 50. Then, the grass itself seems to come alive. Families, calves, old bulls, an entire landscape begins to move. For a little while, the plains belong to them again. Then, they enter the water. Heavy bodies, moving with unexpected grace. For them, the river is not an obstacle, only another part of the journey. For centuries, people have lived beside them, sometimes in reverence, sometimes in conflict, always sharing the same landscape. Then, the journey changes, a road appears. A fence, a village, the path ahead looks different, the memory does not. The road was new, their journey wasn't. There is power here. Not the power to conquer, the quiet confidence of animals moving through a place they have always known. And somewhere, a young elephant takes its first steps. Following footprints it has never been taught, yet somehow already knows. The journey continues, not across the island, but above it. Slowly, the air changes. The warmth begins to fade. The road narrows. Clouds begin to gather. Then, the landscape disappears. One moment, an entire valley is visible. The next, it is gone. These are the Central Highlands, where tea is not planted in fields, but across entire mountains. Only then, another pattern begins to appear. Every hill, carefully shaped. Every slope, following the land beneath it. From above, it looks less like farmland and more like the mountains are being gently drawn into lines. tea grows here. Not in patches, but across the geography itself. Figures move through the green slopes, small against the scale of the land. Wind passes through the rows of leaves. Mist settles between the terraces. From above, the forests stretch toward the horizon. Villages appear, then disappear again beneath the clouds. Entire hillsides carry the same green pattern, repeating across distance after distance. The landscape is always changing. The mountains remain. The road ends. The forest continues. Step by step, the world behind you falls away. Not because it disappears, because sound is absorbed into something denser. Bird calls echo from unseen places. Water moves through roots and stone. Branches shift above the canopy. Nothing is still. Nothing is still enough to notice time. Above, another structure begins to appear. Not built, grown. Layers of branches woven so tightly that sunlight arrives in fragments. This is Sinharaja, one of the last continuous rainforests on the island. For millions of years, this system has remained active. Storms passed. Civilizations changed. Land around it transformed. The forest continued. There are no clear openings, no defined viewpoints, no single place that explains the whole. The deeper you move, the less complete the picture becomes. Not because it is hidden, because it was never separated. Somewhere above, a branch bends. Somewhere below, water changes direction. Life is constant. Visibility is limited. Then, water appears, falling through layers of green. Not sudden, not dramatic, just continuous movement. Nelua duwili ella, water returning to gravity after moving through forest for miles. The forest does not resist change. It absorbs it and continues. When you leave, the forest remains unchanged. Only the sound behind you is different. The journey continues upward. Morning arrives quietly. Mist drifts between the hills. The first light reaches the valleys, one ridge at a time. From above, the landscape begins to unfold. Tea-covered hills, deep valleys, waterfalls hidden among the forest. Valleys meet hills, forest meets tea. Then, a familiar rhythm returns, steel on stone. The steady sound of wheels moving through the highlands. From inside, the journey changes again. Mountains pass beyond the windows. Cool air moves through the carriage. Around every curve, another valley appears. Another ridge comes into view. The railway follows the mountains, turning where the hills turn, climbing where the slopes allow. Never forcing its way, only following the terrain. Across these slopes, tea stretches in every direction. fields shaped by the contours of the mountains, their patterns changing with every hillside. Then, water appears, dropping through the forest before disappearing beneath the trees. Ravana Falls. Fed by the mountains, long before the railway arrived. The track curves once more. The forest closes in. Stone arches emerge between the trees. The train crosses slowly. Steel above stone, forest surrounding both. For nearly a century, this crossing has carried the journey through these hills. From above, the bridge sits naturally within the valley. The train passes, the forest continues. Beyond the bridge, the landscape opens again. Mountain ridges fade into the distance. Clouds drift through the valleys. Roads disappear beneath the trees. The mountains continue beyond the horizon. Only wind, only movement, only the mountains. Clouds move slowly across the mountain, low enough to touch, thick enough to hide the land. For a moment, there is no tower. Then, a white structure appears. Not rising from a city, not built into a skyline, just placed on top of the mountain. The hill falls away beneath it. Forests wrap around its base. Clouds move through the valleys below. The tower doesn't stand still in form. It turns. One level, then another, following its own path upward. Each step changes what can be seen. A valley appears, then disappears. A ridgeline shifts with the wind. Clouds move faster than expected at this height. Nothing stays fixed for long. From here, the island breaks into layers. Near fields, far mountains, and sky that keeps changing shape. The higher you go, the quieter everything becomes. Not empty, just distant. Clouds pass through the structure itself, not below it, not above it, through it. The mountain holds still, the clouds keep moving, and the tower remains in between. The coastline changes. The beaches give way to stone, and for the first time, the island faces the ocean. Walls rise directly from the shoreline, built to look outward toward the sea rather than inland. For centuries, ships crossed these waters, following the seasonal winds of the Indian Ocean. This became one of the island's great meeting places, not because it was isolated, because it was connected. They arrived carrying more than cargo: ideas, craftsmanship, languages, stories. Many stayed, others continued across the ocean. Each journey quietly added another layer to the town that stands here today. Those layers remain: stone streets, shaded courtyards, wooden balconies, walls that still face the sea. And a lighthouse, watching the same horizon it has watched for generations. Time has changed the ships. It has changed the people, even the skyline beyond the walls. The waves keep arriving. The ocean returns, wide, unbroken, always moving. Here, the land begins to slow. Palm forests reach the shoreline. Small bays appear, one after another. The horizon stretches far beyond the coast. Among them, Hiriketiya curves gently toward the sea. Sheltered from the stronger swells beyond, its waves arrive with remarkable consistency. That rhythm has made this bay one of the island's best-known places for surfing. Out beyond the shoreline, nothing happens quickly. Surfers wait, watching the surface, looking for small changes that disappear almost as soon as they appear. Then, one wave arrives. For a few seconds, everything moves together. Water, wind, balance. Then, the wave passes, and the sea becomes quiet again. Life follows the same tide. Fishing boats leave before sunrise. Surfers arrive with the morning swell. The beach slowly fills, then empties again. As the light begins to fade, the coastline changes once more. The waves continue, the tide rises, and the ocean keeps moving. The skyline appears where the ocean meets the city. Glass catches the first light. Ships move steadily toward the harbor. The coastline changes once again, not into forest, not into stone, into streets. For generations, this has been one of the island's busiest gateways. Goods arrive, ships depart. The connection between Sri Lanka and the wider Indian Ocean continues every day. Above the city, one landmark rises higher than the rest: the Lotus Tower. Below, the city follows its own rhythm. Morning trains arrive. Traffic begins to build. Markets open, Offices fill. The day quietly gathers pace. Along the shoreline, the city continues to grow. New districts appear beside older neighborhoods. Construction cranes share the skyline, with buildings that have stood for decades. Both belong to the same city. As daylight fades, the skyline changes once more. Windows begin to glow. Roads become lines of light. The harbor remains active. The city doesn't become quieter, it simply changes its rhythm. Beyond the shoreline, ships into toward the horizon. Behind them, the lights of the city remain. The waves continue, as they always have. Far from the shoreline, something breaks the surface. A single breath, then silence. The ocean closes again, as though nothing had happened. Morning mist drifting across the ancient stone. Clouds moving through the mountains, the sea breathing beneath the fading light. Some places do not ask to be explained, only to be experienced. If this journey changed the way you see the world, there are many more still waiting. Subscribe, and I'll meet you in the next one.